throw for it. He's got to throw it to the end zone. Lobs it up, one-on-one, cut! Michigan, touchdown! I can't believe this! Roy Roundtree. There's a penalty.
Continuing coverage of spring ball here on GoSycamores.com. We're jumping back on the offensive side, coaching staff here at Indiana State, and it's none other than Roy Roundtree. Roy, welcome to Terre Haute. It's great to have you here. What's it like to be wearing Sycamore blue and white and really get started now officially on the field?
Oh man, it's been exciting. I'm happy to be here, to get to work with Coach Mallory and the staff, and just the guys on this team, and just being here for a short time. You learned a lot from them and getting to know them, and they seem like they're ready to compete.
During your time at Michigan, as of course, when you got to know a lot of these guys on this staff, what do you remember about them as a player, and now being able to coach with them? Do you still see a lot of those things that you saw when you were a player back in Michigan?
The main thing, they want you to be great. All the office hours that they put in, and watching film, and just being able to compete in practice. And that's the main thing that I learned when I was at Michigan, competing every day, because you never know when it's your last down or last day out there. So I've got that that method in my head that every time I come to work, bring the energy.
For you now being in the coaching role, how much different has it been from when you were a player not too long ago?
Oh man, it's completely different. You have to switch your mindset. It's more you being a teacher now, and I feel like I did a great job, as a player being a teacher. But now you actually teaching these student athletes, and you just want the best for them. And my whole thing is to have fun. So,
how's that challenge been for you? Has it been, I know everybody, it's different, making that transition to being a coach. For you, how would you describe the transition?
I would say it's pretty easy because, like I say, every day I'm out there with my cleats on and, just try to stay young. And I feel like I can, still compete and, just teach them the knowledge of the game. And, if they see that they coach enjoy it, they enjoy it as well.
You put those cleats on just so you don't feel too old?
I put them on so I can, instead of, telling them how to do it, I can actually show them. And I feel like that's an easier learning tool for them as a receiver, because most of those guys are more hands-on than visual learners. So just try to show it and, broadcast and practice.
You mentioned being able to show them. I'm sure it does help that not too long ago they can probably remember you playing at Michigan and seeing all the highlights and the accolades you were able to garner. How much does that really, I don't know if you need validation of when you start, but how has that really validated and really getting the guys to buy into what you're teaching them out there on the field?
Just being a coach, I really don't, talk much about myself. I'm very humbling because, I want those guys to make a name for themselves and, start their legacy. Guys only get 4 to 5 years in college, and, what are you going to do in 4 to 5 years? Your main thing is to get a degree. That's the main thing because can't nobody take that away from you. And just coming out there and have fun in practice. Every day we're in the stretch line, I ask them, what's your goal for today? You got to hit that mark. And before then, sat down and met with them and told me, let me get your short-term goals. Let me see what you want to work on this spring so that I can be coach you throughout that so that you can reach those goals.
The goals for this spring, your group at the wide receiver position, what are you really focusing on and working on right now?
Fundamentals. You have to be able to, get out of breaks, separate yourself from a DB, be able to hit the DB. I'm more of I probably played at like 175, but I would say I wasn't scared to go get that DB or get that safety. So being physical, that's my whole mindset, being a physical receiver unit and being able to make the big play after big play after big play. So just being consistent in their work ethic.
Grand scheme of things, offensively. We talked to Coach Hiklinski early on in our spring preview, and he's like, well, we're going to have an offense that's going to score. For you guys as receivers, how do you really tie into really that offensive scheme that Coach Hiklinski is really trying to implement?
Well, the main thing with this scheme is we got to be able to run the ball. And being on the perimeter, we got to know how to block and hitting our points and, making sure the running back read off us. And I feel like being in a run game is major because, like I said, I've played in a system like this. And if you make sure that you rattle these DBs' helmets and make them mad, get them off their game, the running back can have the fits and, to make the big play. So, and then receiver-wise, downfield, just, sticking on being consistent and, making a play after play after play. You can make a big play and you come back and you drop a ball. Well, how you respond. And that's, just short time memory on those things and, just keying in on what you got to do in your assignment.
obviously you're in a role that you're not playing, but you know the system so well because you play in a very similar system under Coach Iklinski at Michigan. Knowing that, how easier has it been to really teach your group, knowing you know the guy who's really calling those shots?
Oh man, it's great because like this morning having meetings and they asking questions and I know them like the top of my head and it's easier on my hand because it's just the terminology that switches around with different schemes and offenses. So it's been really well so far and like I say, every day we just got to attack the day and get better.
Well, Coach Roundtree, I got to say I'm a little disappointed that you're not wearing cleats for our interview right now.
It's early. I got meetings.
Early in meetings, Coach Roundtree. It's great to meet you. Welcome to Terre Haute. And look forward to seeing you the rest of spring ball.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Once again, that was Roy Roundtree. We'll have more on the Sycamore coaching staff right here on GoSycamores.com.